Hey everybody, this is Steve Kodad. I welcome you to this 20 minutes of Feng Shui with myself, and I appreciate you showing up. Uh, this is done every first Wednesday of each month, and I made it short for a particular reason because your time is valuable, and I wanted to make sure that you got a lot of bang for the buck for just the 20 minutes of your time. We are going to have a short Q&A after that. And so, hopefully you decide you want to show up and ask some questions. That would be fantastic. Make sure you keep an eye on for the next one. I think it's correct. If I'm correct, it's April 5th. So hope to see you then too. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, my name's Steve Kodad. I'm been involved with Feng Shui now for 19 years plus, which is shocking for me. I am co-owner of the Intrinsic School of Feng Shui, and I'm a national real estate speaker for state associations. I've been all over the country being able to talk about Feng Shui and real estate. And so it's really a passion of mine. I was a realtor for close to 20 years, primarily in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I'm a red ribbon Feng Shui master, like I said, of 19 years. That's the highest rank in the International Feng Shui Guild. And I'm an author. And I also have another school, which is called the Feng Shui School for Real Estate. Now, if you've been with me before, I keep bringing this up to you that Feng Shui is like a domino effect. Once you take care of one thing, something else then improves, and it just keeps on going. So if you keep that in mind, you'll find out that you're going to get a better effect. So for an example that I keep giving to everybody is that if you make your environment secure on a subconscious level, which we've already discussed earlier, you actually then create a very comfortable setting, and therefore you're able to then work on all the things that are important to you and become very successful at them. You got to start off with the idea of security. And this domino effect takes effect with a lot of things in Feng Shui, a lot of the tools. So tonight we're going to do attraction and attention. One of the most important things to me, again, when I was in real estate, when I found Feng Shui, I knew it was important for me to be able to attract a buyer to my listings. And but this attraction, this attention, of course, goes for anybody that's living in a place and not thinking about moving. Anyway, the definition of attraction is a quality or feature that evokes interest, liking, or desire. And another one that I like probably a little bit better, a place which draws visitors by providing something of interest or pleasure. And I think that really does sort of sum this up. Now, you're probably wondering, if you've done any reading on Feng Shui, why attraction? Well, it is one of the most pivotal things, and one of the reasons why I got so involved with it that I got out of real estate and went into Feng Shui. It is extremely necessary for you to understand that you have to consistently attract something called qi or energy into our environments 24/7. And some people really lack in that situation. They might do a really good job, let's say during the daylight hours. Then at night, they might just not do that. And it's important for you to consistently try to do this on a 24/7 basis. So again, we need to attract it, and we need to use it properly to make our environment feel great and nourish our environment. So this chi, and again, if you want to replace that word with energy, that's just fine. This chi, if we do it right, makes us healthier, more alive, more energetic, more productive, and therefore more successful in all the things that we're actually interested in. We all have very different pursuits out there. So you're probably going to find out that I have a little bit of a sense of humor here if you haven't already. Lots of things can attract energy to enter or not. And in this case, I think you'll agree, this one's not going to attract too much attention, at least not very positive attention. So that you just dress it up. It's the same house. Just by dressing it up in a particular way, all of a sudden, you're getting more attention, more attraction. And again, it's very pivotal that we get attraction to our environments. Here's a just normal front door, okay? The only thing good I can say about this particular setup is that the front door actually does stand out because it is not the same color as the exterior. Again, something that I've been harping on in these 20 minutes that we've been meeting. So it does stand out, but it's really sort of boring. I think you'd agree. So again, let's dress it up a little bit. Now, you're going to find out we're going to talk tonight about pots of flowers and colors of doors a little bit. And these are great ways to actually attract attention. So again, we want to do that on a continual basis. So why do I want to attract attention to my home? Okay, well, there's a lot of reasons why we would want to do that. How about this one? We want our neighbors to be envious. No, that's not the reason. Number two, we want to entice positive, nourishing, under control chi inside our house. So if you pick that one, you're the winner now. Okay. So we want to continually draw this chi, this energy into our environment. And when we do that, again, consistent basis, it makes it better, everything better for the inhabitants. And I'm not just talking about a house. I know most of you are thinking that way, but I'm also thinking about if you work at an office, if you work anywhere, but even including into a cubicle, all those things can be dressed up to really create a much better situation for the individual or individuals. Now, chi can enter in a lot of ways. It can enter in through the windows, and the windows have a symbolism to them. They're sort of the eyes of the house or the environment. And it can also come into some of the other doors. But we want to have a consistent under control chi entering through the main entrance. Again, if you've ever picked up a book on Feng Shui, you probably already knew that. And you probably already know this, that it's got a special name. It's known as the mouth of chi. So it's the primary place where we're going to bring in this nourishing energy, and we're going to then work on it, work with it to get it to other parts of the house so that everybody can enjoy it. So again, the windows are considered the eyes. Believe it or not, the hallways are like the veins. So there's a symbolism between your body and your space. So you've got to understand from tonight, again, I know we only have a short period of time together, but you got to understand that we've got to make the front entrance stand out. And I don't care what you do. You might be in real estate, okay? You might be owning a store of some sort, but you've got to make that front entrance stand out big time. So I often tell my classes this. So this is a very important point for you to figure on. When you get human attention, you're also attracting chi at the same time. To me, they go hand in hand. If I'm getting their attention, if I'm getting their heads to turn, you might say, then I'm also attracting chi at the same time. So we're going to look at some pictures right now. I'm very much into showing pictures and giving you an idea that way. I think we remember it better that way. So here's a picture of a very attractive door. You know, it's got some nice things going for it, but feng shui wise, it's really not going to work real well. It's well done. I agree with you, but an awful lot of this blends in because of the coloring. So, and if you were with me last time, we talked a lot about the door not being of the same color as the exterior. And I agree it's darker than the exterior, but the exterior is gray also. So we're really not making it pop. So if you're in real estate, think of it this way. If you had this photo, is this photo going to make somebody stop in their tracks when they're looking through all these listings online? Maybe, maybe not, but they will in this one more so. So again, I need to sort of repeat myself from last time. You need to make your door, a nice color that stands out so it gets attention and not blend in. Showed this picture before, and it's really been something that I've used a lot. A lot of you might be into the idea of red doors, and in certain situations, they're really very good, very positive of drawing attention. And that's what I want to do. I want somebody that's driving past your house to look over and admire your home. I want them to be envious, you might say. That door and that brick sort of blend in so it doesn't pop. So the attraction is minimal. So here's a red door and it pops a lot more. I hope you see that. Here's a door that is well done, but we're going to talk about those pots right now. I'm building on the other 20 minutes a little bit that we want rounded pots. If you remember, we're trying to stay away from something called poison arrows, so it's more welcoming to people. So the pots are great. Okay, I've got no problem with them, but I do have a lot of problems with what's in the pots. So we're going to change that out eventually. Here's more of what I'm looking for. So you want to frame your front door with some color. And a lot of what's going to be brought up this evening is about using color. Let's do a before and after. Now, right away, if I look at this picture, you can see the door blends in. Nothing special about this at all. If I was to put that on the MLS or put that on a website, it wouldn't get much of attention. And you can see the pots are not rounded, so they don't work either. But this does work a lot better this way. Again, I'm not too crazy about the pots. I'd rather them be rounded to take away the sharp edges. And yes, of course, the boots shouldn't stay there. Somebody's going to trip over them probably. But I hope you can understand that the door is real important to you, the mouth of chi. You saw this picture last week or 2 weeks ago, and we talked about these sharp corners, again, the poison arrows. And we brought in, if you remember, pots of flowers with rounded pots. But now I want to sort of emphasize the coloring. The color is very, very important to draw people's attention, to get the attraction of the chi. So that works really well. And of course, we also brought up the idea of using more rounded plants also to bring a more of a softness and a more of a welcome. This one's done very well. And again, you can see the rounded pots. And they had taken away those columns to a degree just by being an obstacle between the sharp edge and a person walking up to the front. Now, I personally, when I am working with somebody, I want to promote these two colors to be at least somewhat in the pots. Okay. And if you know anything about me and my school, we do an awful lot with scientific research to back things up. And red and yellow are the two colors that humans really pay a lot of attention to. And then again, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to get a lot of attention. I'm getting attraction also for the chi. So I try to bring in some red and yellow into the pots. Now, I put this one up because some of you are from the north, and I know you're going through another uh, parade of snowstorms right now, and I'm sorry about that. And you're probably wondering, well, I can't put flowers out at this time of the year. You're right, you can't do that. But you can use gazing balls that have color. You can use pots that have color like this without the plants, at least in the winter at this point. But again, I want to bring color in for for the photos and all those kind of things. This is well done. Now they've got beautiful rounded blue pots that match the door. I love that. The dog is optional and is very expensive, by the way. But if you can put a dog there, that'd probably help with your pictures too. Here's a good job done. But again, I'd like a little bit more color in the pots. Okay. The pots are rounded. They're not going to be threatening at all. Okay. It frames a beautiful door that stands out. I like it very much. I'd add a little more color to it though. And that would really help uh, get the attention more. Okay. This door is definitely of a different color. The pots are rounded. But again, I got a real problem with what's in the pots. So, I hate to pick on folks, but if you just have green framing your front door, you're letting some of that chi just whiz on by and not come in your house to make everything better for you. So what I would do in this situation is I would do this. I bring in some potentially red flowers. So, I hope that makes sense to you. And again, going back to that, colors of red and yellow really work really well to attract more attention, therefore more attraction. Now, with this situation you're looking at right now, I probably would like to have a little bit of a differing color, contrasting color, like a white in there somewhere. But again, this is well done. Now, I showed this picture on LinkedIn today because, it really represents a lot of things that are not right. Okay. You can't get to the door easily. They've tried real hard to attract attention, and they probably have attracted some attention, but they probably are the folks that don't use the front door. And probably some of you have the following question. Well, I don't use the front door. Do I have to bother with it? Well, only if you want to attract chi, you want to attract more human attention, you do. The architect and the builder that built your house, whether they built it last year or 100 years ago, they made this the front main entrance. So in this case right here, you can see it's very possible that somebody goes up to that door. Either a bee's going to sting them, they're going to trip over a plant, or something bad's going to happen. Feng Shui is a lot about safety, and this is not a safe situation. So it's too much, way, way too. Here's a picture of a house in Florida. I don't know what you think of it. Sadly, to me, sadly, this is what you see in most homes. Okay. And I have had the great pleasure of being able to speak all over the country. And you find out it doesn't matter if you're in Vegas or Los Angeles, New York City, it doesn't really matter. You see a lot of houses that just forget color and go with the easy green. So this is not going to make your neighbors envious, I promise you. Okay. They've done a few things that are nice with the curvy beds. I like that. That's about it. Now this is a lot better. This is a lot better. They've got some color. I probably would like to have a little more color. In this case, this may motivate the neighbors to go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. Okay. So again, I know I made a joke about it, your neighbors being envious. That's okay with me. That means that you're doing something right, actually. So you need to add some color. How many times have I already said that in the last 15 minutes? So it doesn't matter where you put it. It can be in the ground, it can be a pot. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to bring color into the front of your house, around the door, especially. Here's a beautiful job that they've done. Certainly, when somebody passes them, they're going to take a look every time, probably. So it doesn't matter if it's a little bit of color or a lot of bit of color, it's really going to help you considerably to make the environment that you want to be really positive and successful for you and your loved ones. Another thing that a lot of us need to think about is things like the room of first impression. And so I work with this an awful lot because I want to move the energy throughout the house. And if I don't have things that are grabbing somebody and drawing attention to it, then I'm not getting enough of the positive chi into that room. So that room right there has got some things that I really would change. There's too much furniture in there. But what I want you to notice is the picture on the fireplace. The picture on the fireplace does not draw your attention, so it needs help. So what I would do is to put some color up. You can see the difference. It just makes a person at least look in there. And if it does, then therefore the chi is going to enter too. Let's look at a few before and afters. Here's the room. Now, just look at the red apples. So again, red and yellow, red and yellow. Keep thinking about that, how they can help you. So color can really help draw energy into a particular part of the house that's missing it. For example, just a simple situation like this. So we love to use paintings in Feng Shui, and we do an awful lot of talking about that in our training, about types of paintings and stuff that will work really well for you. So you might say that attraction is pretty important in Feng Shui. I hope I made my point to you. It really, really is. There's no doubt about it. So don't forget, if we get a human's attention, please don't forget this. If we get their attention, we're also attracting the all-important chi into that environment too. And again, this means it's your office or your workplace too. So again, remember the front doors, remember the potted plants, and you want to work in your home and maybe at work too, and attract attention in a very good way, not this way. No spinning bow ties, okay? Don't do that. So if you're interested in training for becoming a professional consultant, or you want to possibly get the real estate certification, I would love for you to at least send me an email and say, yeah, I'll be glad to look at your information. I promise you, I don't pressure people. I just want you to see what I'm offering. So the next time, a big part of making your home feeling good is understanding how to use yin yang theory and how to use it. So that's what we're going to do on April the 5th. I think that's the correct day. Yep. April the 5th, which is the first Wednesday of April. And again, it'll be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so, I appreciate you very much for joining me tonight. Again, I know these are short. That's the way I wanted to do it. I wanted to make them short. So you can open up you can unmute if you'd like, and you can ask me questions for a while. I'll be glad to answer them. These are the logos, by the way. The logo on the left-hand side is for our consultants when they graduate, and the other one is for the Feng Shui real estate profession. So anybody have a question for me? Oh, come
Hi,
on.
Steve. This is Francis. I have a question.
Sure, please. Hey, Francis.
Hi. On your one of your slides, you mentioned something about the chi being, I guess, attracted 24/7. So the way I'm understanding that is, not only do you think about positioning things or what or colors for day,
Right.
but as well for night. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a great question, Francis. Yeah. When we talk about this stuff in our training, we talk about attracting it in so many ways. At nighttime, using lights is a very positive way to do it. There's a lot of ways to use light in the front yard, some of it terribly inexpensively. So I push the idea of, maybe even having a spotlight on the front door or using light in another kind of a way. But with solar lighting now is so inexpensive that you really could do this very easily and make it so much more powerful for bringing in energy 24/7. There's a lot of ways to bring in energy. It's not just color, although that is a definitely a primary way to do it. But there is motion, okay? There is light. There's a lot of ways to do it. Anybody else? Please. Anybody else have a question for me? Okay. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and say good night. And again, I have this recording. I will send it to you tomorrow. And again, I hope you'll all come back and register for April the 5th. And I appreciate very much you showing up.